Got to come across there and told them, don't nobody say nothing, I'm killing everybody.
Chet Ladosi, a Chicago streets and sanitation worker, was shot in the hand. The next fatal victim was Montefiore School engineer Art Baker. And then as Henderson reached the front door of the Montefiore School, he surprised police officers Irma Ruiz and Gregory Jaglowski. He opened fire on them.
He opened fire, wounded.
Killed 4 people. He was shot in both legs, but he still chased the gunman inside the school. There was more gunfire, and he shot the gunman to death. Patrolman Jaglowski was brought here to Mount Sinai Hospital. Mayor Sawyer and Police Superintendent Martin arrived here while the patrolman was in surgery.
That officer, almost at the cost of his own life, stopped this rampage because we don't know where this individual was going to terminate what he was doing for the day.
Here at Mount Sinai's hospital, Jaglowski's condition is reported as stable. He's doing well. One of the doctors who worked on him is right here with us. Sir, would you come in, Anwar
Chaudhry.
Anwar Chaudhry. Could you tell us the policeman's condition?
Well, Greg is doing very well. The operation is all finished and he's being wheeled into the recovery room. And he has sustained injuries to the left thigh and the right leg. The major injuries to the right leg where the arteries and the muscles are very badly injured, and we needed to do a bypass in his right leg.
Does it appear that he'll survive with no apparent problems after this?
Yes, I believe that he will survive the operation, and I think the prognosis of the right leg is good.
There's one thing that we've been hearing all day, and there have been some conflicting reports about it. But one person who was inside of the school told us that this gunman went inside of a classroom and reloaded his gun. He came out again, and when he was shot, he still had 22 bullets left. This policeman saved the lives of many people. Russ Ewing reporting live from Mount Sinai Hospital. John and Joan?
Thanks, Russ. 4 of the shooting victims were taken to Cook County Hospital. 3 were pronounced dead in the hospital's trauma unit. One was a Chicago police officer, as we've mentioned, Irma Ruiz, the 40-year-old mother of 4 children. Another was the gunman, Clem Henderson. The assistant director of the trauma unit described what was done in a futile attempt to revive the 3 victims.
An airway, usually with a tube of some sort, and then we open the left chest and massage the heart and give vigorous IV therapy, lots of fluids intravenously.
Police officials say Officer Ruiz was the 2nd Chicago policewoman to be killed in the line of duty. John?
Well, psychologists and doctors who are part of the Chicago Board of Education's crisis intervention team have been consulting.
Converged on the home of Clemmy Henderson's mother. She lives across the street from the Montefiore School. Investigators won't say what they found after the shooting other than a picture of Henderson wearing a military-type uniform and holding a military-type M1 rifle. Henderson was shot to death after living a life filled with trouble and disappointment. The 40-year-old military Vietnam veteran was well known in his West Side neighborhood. Ashland Avenue was a known Henderson hangout. He often walked up and down Ashland in a friendly and open manner. But today, for whatever reasons, Henderson suddenly changed.
There was no reason for this outbreak by this offender.
Police Superintendent LeRoy Martin says Clemmy Henderson was out to commit mayhem. Some of those who knew him say if that is the case, then they are surprised. 12-year-old Kimberly Hardy, a student at the nearby Jefferson Elementary School, saw Clemmy Henderson at her school yesterday.
He was nice. He was nice. Yeah, he used to give my brother money and stuff. He was nice.
Henderson was married in 1967. His wife filed for divorce in 1983 following the birth of their 3 children. During divorce proceedings, Henderson told a judge that he had been robbed and shot in the head, but doctors were unable to remove bullet and bone fragments, and he suffered seizures. Even as Henderson's body was being moved, word was already spreading throughout his neighborhood that something awful had happened. It may never be known why Clemmy Henderson did what he did, but what is known is that obviously Clemmy Henderson was a very troubled man. At 13th and Ashland, Bob Petty, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Henderson did have a firearm owner's identification card giving him the right to purchase a gun and buy bullets. That card, though, does not authorize a person to carry a gun.
Well, coming up next, Steve Deschler with the weather.
Henderson also shot and wounded 2 people before being shot to death by the murdered officer's partner. Both men wounded are expected to survive. Police still don't know what motivated the gunman. We will, of course, have more at 6 and 10.
And Joan was to have had a story on the Art Institute today on the 5 o'clock news. We promised you that last night, but obviously the pressure of today's news makes that impossible. But it will be on tomorrow. And that's our news at 5.
Good night.